everybody, and welcome to
Spill the Tea Tuesdays.
With the Khalid sisters.
All right, first let's welcome back Susu. Hi, Susu.
You were
Hi.
missed last time.
I was. We were just, had a busy couple of weeks with everything going on. I wanted to mention that I was hosting people, family, friends from overseas. And then also with everything that's been going on, I just couldn't find really myself to do much.
Yeah.
So now we're back. We're back.
I left my kufi in my husband's car. I feel so bad. I never leave without it, but
yeah, Noor, why are you not representing today? When
it's
I'm
not
here, you don't represent?
representing. It's just I don't feel comfortable leaving without it. The house, like I just feel like I need to wear it, And a lot of people are telling me don't go out with it. It's not safe, but I just can't. And then yesterday,
a lot of things
I
are
left
happening
it in my
in
husband's
America,
car.
so.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
told my husband, I said, if I'm gonna die wearing it, I might as well die. And he was like,
I'm wearing a kufiya?
it's not
Well,
safe.
it's because
Let 'em
they're
try.
targeting a lot of
Let them try.
hijabis just because of everything that's going on.
I
for
told him, I was like, just
Islamophobia,
putting
so.
on a hijab itself is gonna target me. The kufi isn't gonna make a difference.
Well, yeah, but they assume that everybody that's wearing the kufiya is Palestinian.
Yeah.
But they don't know that's wrong. We just like to
Okay,
represent
Hold
it. All right. So, how's your guys' morning?
Yesterday we had a long night yesterday, so this morning I got to sleep in, thank God, because I was at my in-laws. But honestly, I just feel so tired, so drained and tired.
I think it's a time difference with the time change.
I don't like it. Even though we get an extra hour of sleep, I feel like it just bothered me more than anything.
No, I like it. Yesterday we watched 2 movies, guys, under 12 o'clock a.m.
When
I
did
was
you
proud.
start?
We started at
They started way
8,
before you
8.
came to my house.
we started at 8.
No, it was 7:30, and she called me. She
No,
was watching
7:30 we were
Maleficent.
setting it up.
No,
and
you were
then-
watching Maleficent, and I told you why are you watching Maleficent
Yeah, so we
2
watched
before watching Maleficent
and
1?
then we watched Milan.
Apparently, Maleficent
And it
1
was
is
not
not on
even
Disney
12 o'clock
Plus.
yet, and I was like, I'm liking this thing, because we watched. Like, the night is long. I like the night.
It's really
I like the
Yesterday, I
night.
had a girls' night at my house, and they all left by 12. I finished cleaning and everything, and it was still only 1. And I was like, my husband's like, hurry up, babe, it's 2 o'clock, because we forgot to fix 2 of the clocks in the house, which, by the way, kept tripping me up yesterday because I was supposed to order pizza for our gathering, and it said 8 o'clock, and I was like, shoot, I forgot to order the pizza. I called to order the pizza, and as I was on the phone, I was like, it says 7 o'clock. I was like, dang it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, you could order it and have them deliver it at a certain time.
But she thought it was late already.
I thought it was already late.
Oh, okay. And then your gathering started at 9, right?
8:30.
Okay.
So it was just like, okay, well,
All right.
done.
Well, speaking of Islamophobic phobia, same thing.
phobia.
Yeah. We're just gonna this podcast. We're gonna talk about our experiences, how it felt from coming from overseas when we were younger to a different environment, and just like what we went through as Muslims, as Arabs, as just hijab. Well, me and Am were hijabis at that time, but
I
was.
hijabis in general.
I was a hijabi, full-on
But it
abaya,
didn't take us that long.
8-year-old
Hijabis right
girl
after we
coming
came.
from overseas.
So that's what today's podcast is gonna be about. So yeah, so you want to start off? How was it? I mean, we were kids, so we never knew your struggles.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I don't remember much because I was only 4 when I came here.
And I remember, didn't 9/11 happen
Yeah.
when we came? And
But I was, like, 4
everybody
years
said it
old.
was like so much Islamophobic, but
Well,
I don't.
We came in 2001. That's when we came from overseas to America. It was
Isn't
in
that when it happened?
in 2001? I believe September 11 was 2001.
I think it happened, right?
Yeah.
But I don't remember any of the Islamophobic things happening. But apparently there was.
It was.
So we
it
were
was
little.
really
We
tough
were
on
really
Dad.
young.
It was tough on Dad, though.
Yeah.
I remember that we struggled a lot with that stuff, but it was more of not to me. It wasn't more of an Islamic thing. It was more of like trying to fit in. An 9-year-old girl who speaks no English, knows nothing about the States, nothing about the country. I came here. I was wearing a scarf. I was wearing the modest tradition clothes, the abaya. I was really young and trying to fit in a school and in a public school even though it was diverse, it was full of Arabs, Americans, all different types. Just the fact that I was young and wearing a hijab. I think I was the only hijabi in my class.
Yeah.
If I can recall, I was the only hijabi in
What
fourth grade.
were you?
Fourth grade.
Yeah.
I was the only hijabi in fourth grade,
Yeah.
and it was really, really hard to fit in. And my teacher was American, and it was really, really hard to fit in. And it struggled me so much that it felt like it was me getting bullied more than it was me getting hurt. But it would might have been both in a way.
You just felt like you didn't fit in.
I know I got bullied a lot.
No, but I believe I got bullied. It's not even, I don't want to say I didn't, because I believe there was words that were thrown at me that made me feel uncomfortable. I used to go home crying to mom, like, why do I have to look like this? Why can't I look like the other kids? Like, I kept begging my dad, let me just take off my abaya. I don't want to take off my scarf. I just want to take off my abaya. I just want to fit in. All these kids are wearing clothes. They're wearing dresses. And I think it took my dad a little bit of time to adjust to have my mom. My mom is a tailor, so my mom started sewing me some dresses to fit in, like dresses that looked like they're abayas, but they were more of a dress, so I don't have to feel like I'm left out. Yeah. And then I remember dad bought me two traditional Islamic outfits that were like long tunic shirts that go right underneath my knee, a little bit above my ankle, but with pants, so I don't have to feel like I took off my abaya, but I'm still wearing modest.
Yeah, still wearing modesty.
I remember it was only these two outfits that I was allowed to wear that were pants. Everything else was just full on dresses.
I don't remember any of that.
I mean, I do somewhat remember with Sarah.
All I remember
because mom
is
made us two matching dresses.
Well, that's when I
Jeans
first
dresses.
put
She
on
put on
mine.
her
Yeah.
We had an.
I remember because when Noor put on her scarf, sorry, my voice is kind of gone. And then you had your scarf on. I got jealous, so I put my scarf on.
I wanted to put on my scarf because I realized if you pray Aisha, you
just
stay up
late.
longer.
Yeah, literally. That's why she wore her scarf.
Dad's like, you need to pray. You have to put on a scarf. I said, okay, I want to put on a scarf. I want to pray. And I'm so, don't get me wrong, so grateful that I put on the scarf. The journey of hijab for me, I love it. I can't imagine myself without it. I feel half empty.
It's weird without it.
Yeah. So, like, I'm so grateful. The meaning of hijab is beautiful as you get older. When you learn the meaning of it, you learn why. Like, you know, why wouldn't you want to be a pearl in a shell, you know, covered?
See, like, my thing is,
Like,
if I ever walked out without it, I feel like I'm naked, even though I have clothes on. It's just, like, it's not something that, like, even, like, many people ask, would you ever take it off? I'm like, I can't. Like, I don't know how to walk out without it. It's something that I did for a really long time, and something that I actually enjoy, like, having on.
It's not just that. I feel closer. I mean, not putting shade on anyone. I feel closer to Allah with my hijab on. I feel like, you know, I'm safe. I'm content. And that's how it makes me feel. So I don't know if I feel like it's a relationship I have with Allah. If I take it off, it's like I feel like I'm kind of losing myself.
Speaking of putting it on, the reason why I put it on, I was 7 years old, and I know that my cousin wore it. So I got jealous that my cousin wore it before I did, even though I was older than her by a couple of months.
Yeah.
And I said, how is that fair? Like, she gets to wear it and I don't. And I told mom, like, I think I want to wear it. And then so I didn't expect that it was going to come with full-on responsibilities. Like, you got to wear it. You're going to wear traditional.
Well, yeah, because as kids.
Because I'm like, oh, she's wearing a hijab. She looks cute. She's wearing all these cute dresses. It was different to my dad than them. And then so when I wore it, I mean, it was, I loved it. I felt special. My mom did me a little gathering party thing. But it's like when we came to the States, it's when it hit me like, oh, shoot, like, I'm different. I don't fit in.
Well, yeah,
and
because overseas, a lot of people were wearing it. A lot of people were.
No, there wasn't as much as we see now. Now, mashallah, God bless. There's a lot of hijabis in the world. But when I first came, it was so hard.
No, I'm talking about overseas.
Overseas, it was a normal thing.
Yeah,
it was hijab
like
is at 7-year-old.
Yeah,
it was normal. I didn't feel like I needed to try to fit in.
because it was just like part of it all.
I
have an 8-year-old now, and I'm like, when is she planning on putting on her hijab? Like, I don't want to pressure her because we're in a generation and a society that's different than mine back then. I don't want to be pushing her into it, but at the same time, it's like, is she in the mindset that I was in, that I loved it, and I was jealous that I wanted to wear, or is she in the mindset like, oh, I'm not ready yet? So
well, the thing is with this generation is the society is different, so you have to consider that. So when teaching the kids about the hijab, you have to make them fall in love with it first. And I know it's supposed to be like, oh, you're supposed to tell them like it's for Allah, whatever, which is right. But at the same time, kids at that age with the society that's going on, that's not what they're gonna think of. They're gonna think of more. What do my friends think? They're gonna think of more. Do I look pretty in it? They're gonna think
everybody
of. So you have to like slowly get them to fall in love with it first.
Whether you're hijabi or not, you're always wondering, am I fitting in? Yes. Is my clothes fitting in with the trend? Do I look weird? Like my hair too short, my hair too long?
The reasons why I don't wear abaya is because I don't feel comfortable that I fit in with it. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's even as someone who's about to be 28 years old. Yeah. Because I grew up wearing the, when I hit 6th grade, I started wearing the abaya. And I got bullied every single year for wearing it. Because I was the only one in my class wearing it. Everybody was wearing normal pants and shirts, Everyone was wearing normal pants or shirts. Nobody wore it. Everyone kept calling me names for wearing it. I got through high school. I was still the only girl wearing it. It took me till senior year where I had some girls in my class who were actually wearing that and wearing the niqab. You know what I mean? So that actually completely changed also. But even then, it just because of all the hatred that I got wearing it, I just wanted to fit in. So I never wore it again.
Gotcha.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, society plays a huge role into this.
It does. It really does. And when you're younger, it's hard because I know a lot of people now. It's like it's their lives are changing. Things are happening. They're feeling pressured. They, with all due respect to everybody, some girls take it off. Some girls keep it on. They just change the way they dress. They change the way they wear it, just so they can be able to feel like they're not oppressed or fitting in.
Well, let me tell you something. That's what happens. Society plays a huge pressure on what you like want to put on and what you don't want to put on and why you're putting it on. Even though there's a reason why you should have it on. It's just the idea of fitting in. Like, we're talking about Islamophobia, right? Mm-hmm. Like, the funny part is because of all the bullying I had, my dad put me in an Islamic school. Right. Islamic private school. And the ruling there is once you're in school, you have to have the hijab on. Mm-hmm. I was the only one there that did not remove the hijab off after the school ended, and I was still bullied there for it because over there they just were wearing it because it was part of the uniform and not because they have to. Mm-hmm. So it all fits in together, if that makes sense.
Well, honestly, I don't know. Like, you guys are saying all this stuff, and it's like the first time. Because I've never experienced that. It's not that I wasn't bullied. It's just, I guess I'm just that type of person that just does people's words don't really faze me. I mean, people did, look at me differently. I felt like I was being looked at. The only thing that I feel that's uncomfortable is when, people stare at me like, why does she look like that? And that just makes me feel uncomfortable. It doesn't make me feel like, oh, why am I wearing this? But I've never, really cared what people thought, how I looked. So I never really felt like that, I probably was getting bullied and not knew because I didn't give a shit. Excuse my language. I didn't care.
I just remembered what I wanted to say. We're speaking about Islamophobia. There's a lot of people. So I'm in a Muslim group chat on Facebook with a bunch of different Muslim women all around America, out of America, whatever. And someone anonymously wrote, "Am I the only one that feels like I can't have my scarf on anymore with what was happening?" So it's because of also Islamophobia, a lot of people are scared to express their religion. You know what I mean? Some women are questioning on having it on because of what's been happening.
But should it be a question of what's happening? I mean, I understand we all go through things and it gets harder on us because we are hijabis and stuff. But shouldn't our hijab and our faith make us stronger at times like this, I feel?
Yeah,
I think it all depends on the people's faith, really. Because I can't judge
where the girl was coming from is because there was a lot of people that were hijabis getting stabbed and killed in America because of it.
Well, we get stabbed and killed everywhere else, too, not just in America as hijabis. That's the point.
I mean, I see where she's coming from, but it's just it's just our struggles. Everyone has struggles. The people in Palestine, they're having struggles that no one can compare. So you are, as a Muslim, by default, are gonna have struggle. Mm-hmm. Because you're different. Mm-hmm. You're not what's the norm. You will never be what's the norm. it just, you're not fitting in with those women who are half naked every day, or even just going out of Islamophobia, even just being straight, you're not normal anymore. Even if just what, you know what I mean. You're never going to fit. And as long as like you know, like, okay, well, this is who I am. I don't expect to change for anyone, because you don't see other people in America who are not Muslim trying to change and fit in with us. So why is it that a lot of Muslims feel like, oh, I need to change? No, you don't need to change. I know it is scary. Like sometimes when I'm at night, I'm doing stuff like I'm like looking around like, oh crap, like something's gonna happen. Like I know, like even just wearing the kufi lately, like I don't take it off when I go outside. I feel like, okay, I'm gonna get attacked or something because of what I'm wearing. But I just don't wanna, like, I promise myself like I'm not gonna take it off. I'm gonna represent what I represent.
Sorry, I get attacked almost every single day just driving back and forth with my kids to school. Just people realize that I have a scarf on, or I have the flag on my car, you know, the one they hang by the mirror. So I have it flipped backwards where it flips to Palestine and then Lebanon, because, you know, I am Lebanese and my kids are Palestinian, Jordanians. So it's like it flips, right? So sometimes you feel like people, when they're driving next to me, they purposely try to do something to hurt me just because of that.
Like that one time with me.
That one time that happened with you, it happened so many times with me. I just want to mention we have my sister-in-law here with us in the room, and Raya picking her nose. So, and my sister-in-law witnessed it with me. Like she'd be with me in the car most of the times, and we're just like, what's wrong with these people? Why are they driving like idiots? And I just realized they're not driving like idiots. They're purposely trying to hurt me.
Oh yeah,
in a way. And I'm like, well, you know what?
Because I was saying that, like that one guy, he
go.
just kept stopping. I'm like, this guy, like, there's something wrong with his car until he turned to try to hit my car, and I was like, oh no, this guy was actually trying to get me to hit his car.
Yeah.
Like,
so he can hey, she
like
hit me.
You hit my car, yeah.
Right. But I'd rather, everyone's bound to die. This is life, I just rather die for a purpose. Like I died because I held on to my faith. I mean, to me, that's like, if it happens, it happens. This is how it's written for me. But I'm not just going to change what I believe in or who I am or anything because I feel scared. Like,
because I know a lot of influencers that did take off their scarf because of all the hate and all the stuff that they were getting. I mean, like, they still share, like, they're praying and all of that. It's just the idea of having a scarf on to some people could mean that it's getting in the way of a lot of things that they want to do, which is really sad to think of, because if you think about it, there's a lot of models that are hijabis now.
Yeah,
there's a lot of musicians that are hijabis now. There's a lot of actors that are hijabis now. Comedians are hijabis now. Doctors are hijabis now. So when I hear that it's getting in my way of what I want to do, I get confused.
Okay, let me speak on that. I want to say this the nicest way possible because I don't want to judge anyone. Everyone has excuses, and everyone's life is different. So I will never know until I'm put in their shoes. But being a Muslim hijabi and covered modestly, I think I've been put more than in shoes. But I'm not an influencer, so I don't know. Maybe they're not getting brands because they have a hijab on. Maybe this, maybe that. But there's a lot of Muslim brands that are seeking for women's fashion. There are getting models who are not hijabis putting on hijab for their fashion. Like, you're a hijabi. Why don't you apply to that? Like, I'm and also backtracking on that. You're a modest store. Please look for hijabi girls are trying to model. Why are you picking non-hijabi girls are trying to model wearing hijab? Like, I get it. But it is like, I feel like everyone's just based on their struggles, but it's like, it's kind of an excuse to put yourself back. Like, no, you will not get a degree because you wear this certain way. Or no, you will not marry somebody because you put on a certain way. Like, you should marry somebody who respects who you are. You don't want to marry somebody who wants you to wear a certain way. That doesn't make sense to me.
See, I don't judge the people that wear the scarf and whatever they wear. They wear it. To me, you have it on. I'm giving you props for even putting it on, no matter how you have it on, whether it's a turban, a scarf, a full scarf with the niqab. Or I'm giving you props because you're actually putting it on. Because even if you have a turban on, or even just have it wrapped on, you could still take it off if you wanted to. But no, you still chose to have it on. So my thing is, whatever way you put it on, I still believe, like, because I'm not God, so I'm not here to judge anybody.
And no shade on those who don't. There's a lot of Muslims out there
who
who
don't.
We have a
pray
lot of
better
friends
and
that don't wear
apply
hijab or
Yeah.
we're
are
wearing
more
it and
religious but just
took
don't
it
have a
off.
hijab
Yeah,
on.
so I still give them props with everything that's going on for still putting on, no matter how it looks. Like, to be honest, with the crazy things that happen in this world, I do understand why a lot of people don't have him on. But at the same time, even if you're walking around with your scarf looking like a turban, I still give you props for having it on, because you could have had the option to take it off and you didn't.
Yeah, speaking of, like, you see a lot of influencers, they don't really talk about their religion, right? You're Muslim, but you don't bring up your religion. But then now, and this is, again, what I was talking earlier, it's only somehow seems like the Muslims are always scared to be themselves, because you see non-Muslims who are reading Quran, who are learning right now, and they're, like, so excited,
Just
and
from
they're
the things that's
blasting
going
it
on.
all over.
Yeah, just
Like,
the things
did
going
you
on.
see what this thing says in the Quran? Did you see they say words, and they're so excited, and they're influencers, and they're going out there, but then you see the Muslim influencers just, like, sitting in the corner quiet. Like, why? Like, why are you afraid to be who you are? Because you won't get followers, because you won't. People are actually interested. People care. There's a lot of Muslim community on social media. You will get still a million
And that's
Muslim
the thing,
followers.
Like, you can be Muslim and you can be an influencer and you can still be modest about it. And you don't have to have a hijab on. It just bothers me how some influencers are Muslim but are dressing and acting like they're non-Muslims. And it's like, but I'm Muslim. And it's like,
But you won't know they're Muslim until they say it. And some of them don't say
But my
it.
thing is, like, why aren't you representing it?
they're trying to not show
Like-
that they are Muslim.
Like, there's a lot of people, and because I don't want to say names, I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. They're Muslims, and they'll go out and they'll be part of bars. They don't drink, but they're there, and they'll make a segment on how they're fasting in Ramadan, a vlog about, hey, come watch me fast in Ramadan. It's like, okay, looking at you, I can't tell that you're Muslim. Like, let's be honest. But you're over here going, all right, now watch my vlog as we fast Ramadan with my white friends, and it's just like, but you just posted 2 days ago that you're at a bar with them, and that just people are gonna be like, what kind of image are you sharing?
Like, is it just me, or do you follow certain influencers because you want to feel like you want to
feel
see
like you
what
belong
other
in
what other people
in
are
a
doing?
group? You know what I
that
mean?
goes back to the original the topic of our whole podcast today when I started. It's like everybody's trying to fit in. I was trying to fit in.
Because there's
In
a
a way,
lot of
I was trying
influencers
to
that are
keep
not.
myself, not lose myself.
I know.
Fitting in, but it's all about trying to fit in. And we're in, like you said earlier, we're in a society now. It's different, and everybody's trying to fit. Like you're talking about hijabs. Mashallah, may God bless everybody that wears the hijab in the right way. We're not perfect. Nobody's perfect.
No.
But like my sister-in-laws, mashallah, they all wear the
Niqab, yeah.
niqab, full on niqab, and then you can
The face
barely
cover.
see. You can barely see. Well,
You
their
can see-
face is not covered. Their eyes
Are
but
showing,
it's
but it's just
mashallah,
a
like
face
it's,
cover.
yeah, right.
It's just you become what you've been through. You know, it's like you just, I guess.
But yeah, but I also like there's a lot of influencers. For example, like there's Omaya. She's
Totally
a
love her.
Colombian Palestinian married to an Egyptian. Sorry, I didn't want to mess that up.
Yeah.
And she's been fully open with who she is and how, and like her mom is not a hijabi.
Neither
her
is her
sister
sister.
isn't. She's
they're
the only
Muslims.
one that's they're
Yeah.
Muslims. She's the only one that's a hijabi. So it's like she went through all of that. She showed you through all of that. She was still confident and modest and everything through all of that. And it's just like, okay, so you can do
And
that.
then there's also the dang, how did I forget the I'll say it. What is it? There's 3 Palestinian girls.
Sisters.
They're sisters. I forgot.
The
Assad family. One of the sisters are hijabi. 2 of them are not.
No,
but I
yeah.
swear to you, they wear the most modest clothes, better than me, and I'm a hijabi. And they talk and they embrace their religion
And their
they're not
culture.
hijabi and their culture. I think they're Palestinian / I don't know. I think their mom's like she's white, but I don't know if she's like England or.
I don't think so because the
Their mom is not Arabic for sure.
No, but I don't think they're. I think they're like Scottish or something.
That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not
because
sure.
The 2 non-hijabis are like redheads, and it's natural. It's obviously natural. It's not like
Yeah, but like they literally talk. I've never seen them having to fit in. But they have a lot of followers. They're good. Their content is really nice. They're always talking about wearing modest clothes to this, wearing modest clothes to that, and
they're part of the
praying.
veil collection.
Yeah,
They model for
and
the
then
veil
until
collection.
now
you guys,
they
I was so mad. You know, I got invited. I got an email from the Veil Collection with a ticket for me to go to New York and be part of the Veil Collection thing.
And why you didn't go?
what was I gonna do with my daughter?
I could have
Well,
watched.
we
it.
all here. We could have watched. Ilyana.
I
This is
was
a great
so mad. I
opportunity.
was like, at first I got an email. I'm like, oh, this is gotta be a scam. Then I got another
Hand me that
email,
pillow, please.
and I was like, oh no,
You can have my pillow, baby.
this is actually real. This is not a scam. And I told my husband about it. And Jihad's like, oh, that's really cool. And I was like, he's like, how are you gonna go? I was like, I can't go. What am I gonna do with my daughter? And it's like, I'd have to be there for the 4 nights. So
Well, you can't go. You want Jihad and Ilyana like a little trip, and you can do.
Yeah,
your
and he
thing.
can just
his
watch it.
problem was getting out of work.
Oh well, next
Oh.
time make it work.
Well, I didn't know. I thought it was a scam for a long time. I was like, there's no way.
Did they pay for your ticket and everything?
Yeah, they sent me.
Well,
the link
you
to
got a
my
free ticket.
All I had
Just
to-
go, whether it's a scam or
All I
not.
had to do was pay for my airplane flight, but that was pretty much it. And I was just like, which
Yeah.
is New York, so it was like $100 maybe just one way. So it's like
That would be awesome if I got called into one of these.
But I felt great. I was like, oh my god, that's nice.
But yeah, like I was saying, so there's a lot of like influencers are different than
There's
each other,
even,
but
like,
they still embrace who they
Like
are.
Wasan. She's
Oh, yeah, I
she's
love
a
her.
Muslim Palestinian
Married
influencer,
to an Iraqi.
married to an Iraqi,
Mhm.
who embraces her culture, embraces her deen. Not once did she take off her scarf for a clothes brand. She models a lot of abayas and a lot of
Dresses for
she,
veil.
she modeled for Modest Barbie and
mhm.
for Veil. So it's like you can be a model if that's what you want to do. She had a lash company for herself.
No, I
You can do all of that
women
with embracing
I'm
yourself.
I'm all
Hold
for
on, I want to
women's
say
success,
something.
man.
I'm sorry. I just want to say something. We are not. Again, I just want to re-point out. We, as everybody can tell, we are 3 different types. As you can see, my sister Nam wears pants most of the time, skirts most of the time.
Just the modest levels.
Yeah, and then Noor is
Is
mostly in
skirts.
dresses and skirts.
Mhm.
Me, even though I struggled with it when I was younger, I wear about 90% of my clothing in my closet are all abayas and jilbab.
I've never seen you walk out without one.
Right, and then it's like
I try to change her.
it doesn't
dressing,
work. It
but
just
it
it's
just
in
was-
you. Even though I fought it when I was younger, and I try to change so I can fit in. But as you get older, and my dad kept telling me like, "Oh, you're an older age now. You are dad. Your body's growing. You're gonna get more attractive. You need to cover more. You need to be."
You know, okay,
that's
that's such a
more-
misconception though, because I want to say something.
But I know.
They
But my point
say-
is that I'm trying to say. I was trying to make a quick point. What I'm trying to say is, we might not be perfect hijabis. Okay, yeah, we put makeup. Yeah, we get dressed. Yeah, we might get like, oh, you guys are here sitting talking
No, by
about.
all means,
stuff.
but not.
Actually,
we
can
are
you
not
guys give me
perfect.
props? I'm makeup free today. I only have mascara and then a lip tint on.
So you still have makeup.
So it's still makeup.
No, I'm not like cover up.
Wait,
and-
you remind me of when I
You're
taught
natural
Ahlam.
makeup.
My sister, I go, Ahlam, I have no makeup on today. And then she looks at me like, but I do have mascara and I have my lipstick on. She goes, yeah, I know you. You
It's
never
still
walk
makeup.
out without your mascara.
It's a makeup brand. It's a
mascara.
makeup.
It's like,
well, mascara is
We think
to
it's part
enhance
of
the
us, but-
lashes.
By all means, we don't represent full on hijab.
no,
Yeah.
we don't.
I just
want
wanna
to
put it
not
out there.
perfect. And we're not here to judge
I don't think anybody is
We're
perfect.
just talking about how
Everyone
hijabis
tries.
in general
tries.
is trying
You're trying your
to
best.
fit in the society we are in. And I was trying to say is, I have an 8-year-old daughter. You know,
Mhm.
I have 3 daughters that I have to look out for, and I have to be a role model to. And my daughter, the 8-year-old Rosanna, she sees her 3 aunts, and then she sees her aunt from overseas, and she sees all of them. Mashallah, she has 6 of them overseas that are full on jilbabs, full on niqabs. So she is stuck in between, like, oh, the full cover, and then the we're still fitting in cover, like me and her aunts here. But the thing is, with my daughter, it's confusing her is that, like In'am was saying earlier, the society she's in, they're not really supporting her much of, oh, Rosanna, your hair's pretty. Why, she was practicing to wear it during Ramadan last year. And she was in a public school. And 99% Arabic kids, they were Muslim Arabic kids in that school. Maybe 2%, that were non. And they were all like, Rosanna, why are you wearing that? Your hair is pretty.
You look so much prettier with your hair.
Yeah, your hair's prettier. Your hair's prettier. And nobody supported her. And it made her hate it instead of, oh, I want to try.
Mhm.
But during the summer, with her aunt visiting from overseas and hanging out with us more, and then
Being in a
and then with
private
what's going on,
school now.
and then now she's in private Islamic school, and what's going on overseas, and she sees how all these young girls and ladies are wearing their prayer clothes constantly in these videos.
Mhm.
She came to me yesterday. I just want to point this out because it was like a proud mom moment. She wanted to go walking with her aunt yesterday around the subdivision, and she said, "Mama, do you have a 2-piece scarf like the one that you wear underneath your hijab?" And I said, yeah. And she was asking me in the mid of I was dressing up her other sister. So I was like busy. I didn't really pay attention. She goes, can I wear one? And I said, right now? She said, yeah, I want to wear it when I walk with Amto. And Amto is her aunt from her dad's side. And I said, well, Mom, you're walking around for a minute there. I didn't realize what was going on. I said, you're just walking around the subdivision. She goes, oh, it's okay. If you don't have one, that's okay. Next time. And then I realized it hit me that she was asking to wear one. And so I said, wait, hold on. Why don't you wear your prayer clothes? Just the top part. So you're only going around the cul-de-sac, And then she's like, no, it's okay. Next time.
Maybe
I'll
she
walk
doesn't
it with
feel
you.
comfortable wearing out prayer clothes, but she feels more comfortable.
But it didn't hit me because I was in the middle of doing everything. But then after she left and came back and I was telling her dad about it, he was like, you should have given. I'm like, babe, it just didn't hit me till after she left that she was asking to wear the hijab, Like,
that's a good start.
It was good. Her aunt has been trying to help her look into it more and love it more. So, and I think it's starting to inspire her because, like you said, private schools here, part of the uniform for older kids are to put on the hijab. So I think she's trying to see some of her friends in class are wearing it. So that's helping her a lot.
Can I say what I want to say, though? I want to say, because you were talking about what Dad used to say, I want to say how much of a misconception it is where people think, because they used to say, you have to, like, the abaya is modest, so your figure doesn't show, and that way nobody would look at you. But it's actually wrong. They look at you more here.
Because
the guys will check out the hijabis more than the ones that are not hijabis.
Yeah,
because we are different.
But that doesn't make the statement.
No, it's not as wrong. Like, I used to work at GameStop, and I was the only female there. And one of the guys that I worked with there told me that, he was African American. And he was like, we African Americans actually think that the hijabi women are a lot prettier than any women in the street because you guys are all covered. And the only person that can see you guys
it's like a mystery.
It's like what's inside the
box.
box.
It's like your only husband, and it's like it would be nice for
Mary has to figure it out.
Like, have you ever just
he was like, do you think that hijabis would marry an African American? I was like, yeah, they would.
Don't discriminate.
They don't. It's not the nationality that they can't. It's just
we
have to marry a Muslim
in our religion.
And he was like, and he asked me what does it take to become a Muslim? And I was telling him, I was like,
just to marry a Muslim girl? Boy, he was going for the
and I was
extra mile.
I was like, that's a great mindset and all, but your intentions to become a Muslim has to be for God and not to marry a Muslim girl. Right. But he was saying it's nice how it's like you're like the only person that can see you as your husband. You're only for your husband. That means no guy will ever touch you. No guy. So he was explaining that, and I was like,
oh my God, that's funny.
That's
because
the point of the
I used
hijab.
To say that to Dad all the time to convince him that I wanted to wear clothes like other people. And I said, do you know that I am more attractive with my abaya on than without it? Because Dad, how many people I'm giving sins of them staring at me.
As long as you're not disappointing God, you're good.
Trying to figure out how I look. And he's like, still, that's not the point. I'm like, no, it is
the only one
point.
that matters is God. He's happy with you. It's okay.
I'm like, it is a point, Dad. You're making people look at me. And he kept telling me, well, it doesn't really matter because they're going to look at you either way. So as long as you are covered and you're fitting in what God asked you to wear, you're fine. And I swear, like I was saying earlier, 90% of my closet is abayas and jilbabs in different shades of colors. And then just about, you can say 3 years ago, I started to slip in dresses, but they were loose, so I would get like extra bigger than me.
Still
so
look like
they look
abayas.
like
They still look like abayas.
They were still loose. They were like, my dad's like, what are you trying to do? Trick me and God that you're wearing the dress?
Okay, but here's
the thing.
You guys, here's the thing. Let me
I was like, it's still not see-through, it's still not tight, and it's still not showing my figure. So I think I'm doing good.
Okay, can I talk now?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, here's the thing. I don't want to be saying things are not right, but I decided to read and look into things, and I used to also wear abaya all the time.
Me and you are the most.
And again, I never felt uncomfortable. I never felt like I didn't fit in because in my mind, I always thought about if I had a diamond, would I polish it and cover it or leave it out in the dust? I would always cover it and polish it. Would I share it with anyone else? You know what I mean? So I always thought of myself like a diamond who's covered, who's polished, who's, away from the dust, away from whatever.
Bougie.
Whatever. That's how I thought it. A pearl, a diamond.
She wanted to be a diamond guy.
Actually, I prefer to be a pearl.
Hey,
when you open it, you're like, wow.
Didn't Rihanna say be like a diamond in the rough or something?
Anyways, So it's
Is
like
that what Rihanna said?
whatever
It wasn't Aladdin.
Julie, whatever Julie
No,
Pete's
like
singing.
diamonds in the sky shine bright like a diamond.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not in the rough.
No, that's not that lyric, but there's that lyric.
Yeah,
in
we
there.
got
Okay,
it. We
so,
got your point.
like,
We got
it's
your
just
point.
me a diamond.
That
We got your
being
point.
said, I did research and I realized, okay, modest means covering your figure. Modest doesn't mean you have to wear a certain kind of thing. So then that's when I started wearing skirts and baggy shirts and like cardigans and whatever. And I did slowly start slacking and wearing tighter, which is just everyone has like slips. But so then when I went back to Dad, I was like, Dad, I'm going to wear skirts. Not that, hey, can I? He said, that's not right. I was like, well, I broke it down for him and he's like, okay, fine. As long as you wear a cardigan over the skirt because it's going to be too tight or whatever. So, I mean, he did know that we're going to slowly slack, but that's not the point. It's just like, it's the idea of just being modest in any way possible you think is possible, that fits you, that you're comfortable with. Because, and again, you're talking about Rosanna, and I didn't want to cut you off. Mm-hmm. And one tip, I think, for because it is very hard, like as mothers, to implement religion in this community and whatever's going on, teach your kids about what Allah is, what the religion is foundation, then how they're supposed to be. Teach them the meaning of Islam, the meaning of the Shahada, the meaning of the Surah Al-Fatiha, because Surah Al-Fatiha is important, like what the meaning is. Let them understand it, let them love it, let them learn more about history, let them learn more about the Quran, and then be like, Yalla salli, you know? Or, pray.
With the scarf.
Or put on the scarf. Tell them, no,
Not why you have to put it on.
They should learn the religion first, be in love with the religion first, so that they know that I'm wearing this for Allah, because Allah said so. If you just be like, put on a scarf, but why? Because Allah said so. But who's Allah, right? Or why do we have to submit to Him? Or I don't understand.
No,
I'm not talking.
That's not.
I'm not talking about
You're
you
not
in
wrong
particular.
about that,
I'm just
but
saying.
Also, teaching a girl, or in general, a girl. I don't know where I was going with this. A girl, why she should
Or
wear
even
scarf.
males in general. You're like,
males don't wear hijab.
no, not hijab. I'm telling you about
No,
religion.
I'm talking about the scarf. Like telling a female about, when you wear a scarf, it makes you feel this. It's like your crown. It's, you know what I mean. It also makes someone wear it
like
more,
a diamond.
instead of saying, wear a scarf because God said so. Okay, but what's the reason? Like a lot of parents will be like, because that's what Allah said, that's what you have to do. It's like,
but
no.
That's the thing. You have to explain
it
to them who Allah is. They have to know. And like, this is also one thing for parents. Like, no shade. Learn your religion, because their kids hit a phase where they just start asking. It doesn't have to be religious based. You have to say like, hey, don't touch this grape. But why? Because I said so. I don't get why. Because they don't understand why they cannot touch this grape. So it's going to be the same thing. Huh? So it's the same thing. So if you're gonna say do this because Allah said, they're gonna say why. You can't be like, because Allah said. But why did Allah say it? Like as an adult, sometimes I always wonder like, why is this a
I
thing?
get those questions from Rosanna all the time.
And that's not like, you have to be calm and collected because
Why?
they are
That
learning.
question,
They're
but
learning.
why?
My thing, a
But
lot
why?
of people were like, okay, to have my kid learn their religion, I'm gonna put them in an Islamic school. That's great. That's amazing. That's beautiful, right? But if you're not following it up at home,
Then you're not really doing
they don't
much.
care what they're learning in school.
True.
As
We were talking
as
about that,
great
me and
as
Islam
it
the other
sounds
day.
to put a kid in a private Islamic school, I'm against it and not against it at the same time, because the way your kids will learn religion is watching you, seeing you pray is makes them want to pray. Seeing you read your Quran makes them want to learn their Quran. You telling them stories about the prophets and the imams and everybody makes them want to learn more. You putting them in an Islamic school because they have to be in school where they learn stuff. It's like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I mean? You have to be the main source of where they're learning their religion, their religion, their faith, their culture from. You can't just send them to school. Like I'll give you an example. I went to school. I learned history. You think I remember anything from my history class? Just like the major things? No. Other than that, I don't care, because it's not something that follows up at home. You know what I mean? As long as that's what they're following up with at home, and you're the main source where they're learning their culture, their religion, their manners, and all of that from, you can't just expect that from a school. And that's the thing. Like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I'll just put them in school. Okay, great. And then what? Are you gonna follow up on it? No, most people don't. Why? Because they assume the school is doing the teachings. So that's another thing. Like, you can't just expect someone else to do the teachings. You have to be the example. You have to teach. You have to explain why. You have to be the source for everything, whether it's religion, culture, manners, everything really.
Yes, I totally agree. You guys are the foundation. The house is the foundation. The sources outside, but the house is the
It's
foundation.
just help. The
With
sources
everything,
outside is just help.
with behavior, with education, with anything. You are what they want to learn from. So what you are is what they want to become.
So be the example that they want. You want them to be.
Yeah, despite. Exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
We literally went on like so much.
We're on like
things.
6 different tangents.
This is
by
why
the way.
I told Anam, I said, if we talk about this topic, we need to do parts, because somehow like you can't talk about how we like the struggles without having like many different
tangents.
not tangents,
And it
because
branches out to different
it
topics.
branches because like
Mini-
example
Mini
we're
topics.
just
Mini
yeah.
topics.
So what comes up in our heads we're gonna talk about, because you are probably listening and that's coming up in your head like, okay, how about my child? And there boom, we talked about your child. You know, it's just we don't live on agendas.
Yeah. Overall,
We don't have a
think we
script.
covered the topic of being Muslim hijabi in an Islamophobic world pretty well. I think.
No, I think we did. We covered about.
Speaking of
say
hijab, I like your
40%.
scarf today.
Thank you.
I like that hat. I like the fall.
Looks cute.
The fall, I feel like it makes
I
nice
think,
with
I
it.
think
wanna
you got
give credit-
jealous of
this
my
is-
hats.
No, I did not get jealous of your hat. Actually, this is I give credit for my sister-in-law. This was all her style, by the way. She likes these kind of knitted hats, and at first we were looking for knitted hats, but we weren't looking for ones with caps. You know, we were looking for the little
The beanies.
French looking.
The
no, not
beanies.
beanie.
Oh,
the French looking. What do they call it?
Beret.
beret.
Did I say it right?
Beret.
Yeah.
Okay, that's her style. So we were looking for that, but then we came across this, and then she's like, "But Sarah, I like this." I'm like, "Look, if you get one, I get one." It's only
I
fair if
love
we both get
beanies.
one,
This
so
is
we
why
got one.
fall weather is hijabi weather.
And we, me and her are both wearing it today.
You know the funny
sweater,
part? A lot of people, when I wear my beanies and hat, they're going, "What are you wearing it for? You're already wearing a hijab." I'm like,
It holds the hijab together.
Again,
one,
we
it
wanna
holds
fit
my
in.
scarf
We
together
wanna fit
because
in with the
even
season.
as
not
much as
fit
you
in,
pin your
it's just
scarf,
comfortable.
I will have to unpin, refix,
Well, because
unpin,
the way you wear your hijab is different. Yours is more looser.
No,
So
even
you need
if I
something
pin
to
it,
hold it down.
even if I pin it, I still need something to hold it down because the scarf slip.
Well, these materials.
The materials of the scarf slip. And I was like, it holds my
God-
scarf in
God
place.
bless
It
the
fits.
two-piece, huh?
It fits my outfits.
I'm always on my 2-piece, guys.
It fits on my outfits. I like it. Why does it bother anyone?
When in doubt, you have to go somewhere, put on a hoodie, and then a hijab, or put on
Can
a
we talk
cap
about-
and a
Did
hijab.
you guys see the hoodie that has the built-in hijab?
Yes.
I
saw
saw
it.
My friend
so
Emily was wearing a
bad.
shirt
Or
the
the
other
hijab.
day like that.
Oh
Did
wait,
you see
what was
Emily's?
it? What was it? What was it? It was what brand? Damn it, she told me.
Emily?
Yes.
It's so cool. Emily's shirt is like a body shirt. and then there's stuff.
Ralph Lauren. I can't even say it.
Ralph Lauren. You said
Yeah.
it right the first time.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to say it again. It won't come out. Ralph Lauren has a sweat, like a not like a sweater, but
a
like
knitted
a
shirt.
knitted shirt that comes with a hijab.
Yeah.
Like this
I
is
love that so much.
so amazing. It's
Like-
so expensive, but so amazing.
It's worth it. Like, I saw the hoodie. I'm like, I need that hoodie.
Oh,
Hey,
Because
Did
a
you
lot
see
of the
cap
times,
hijab.
a lot,
Love the
yeah,
cap
a
hijab.
lot of the times,
My prayer clothes that I wear, they have a hooded hijab.
Yeah, and they don't even look like prayer clothes.
And you can't tell I'm wearing prayer clothes because you know what I do? I wear them and then I wear a hoodie on top and I just go out, drop off the kids, pick up the school. You can never tell they're prayer clothes. But they're prayer
Also, the
clothes.
best thing of putting a hijab on, you never have to worry about your hair in any weather. Humid, not humid,
Yeah.
frizzy. Have
It's
to
covered.
fix it.
It's taken
Wallah,
care of.
it's the
taken.
best. Just put it. Put some blush, mascara, lipstick. You'll look fresh as new.
You're
Out
right.
you go. Out
I
you
feel
go.
sorry for everybody that sees me in the morning when I'm dropping off my kids, okay? Anybody in my
I
area,
am-
I apologize.
You know
in
the funny
advance.
part? My school, my
I look like
in our
crap.
subdivision, there's a bus that picks up the kids to school. So
Oh.
I'm like, when Ileana grows up, we have to walk her to the bus stop, and I'm like, I'm gonna feel bad for everybody.
Robe.
I'm just gonna have
pants.
robe, hoodie.
The
And
hoodie
I
for
see
the
my
robe,
neighbor, my neighbor's
umta,
so cute. She
clothes.
puts a hoodie on and her scarf on, and she's just walking every morning, and I'm like, oh no, that's gonna be me really soon.
I like that though. I like walking to the bus. It's better than driving. It's like,
Are you really a mom if you don't have a robe on in the morning with coffee and just dropping your kids off to
Right.
school?
okay.
Have fun at
Do you know
school.
how many times I took the kids out to school with a robe on? But you know, God bless me, I'm always in the car, so I don't have to go down. That one time Rosanna was late, I had to go sign her in.
Oh my goodness.
God. Oh my
That's
god.
hilarious.
Oh my god, it was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. And my robe was pink. It It was so embarrassing.
Of
I
all
don't
robes.
think the color of the robe made it embarrassing, Sarah.
No, because if I wore black, it wouldn't look that big of a deal. It looked like those puffy ass
my robe is white with cheetah prints on it. Okay, imagine how weird that would have been just walking in like.
better than pink. It was like
I'm
a
the only
bathrobe.
one that has a
Mine looked
normal
like
robe.
a bathrobe.
Oh, wait, no, my
Well,
robe
my
is
robe was
my
going
robe
on.
is R2D2. That would have been funny.
Yeah, I have a Harry Potter robe. It's actually down here because I was like, I'm not gonna wear that, like go out with it or something.
I don't care.
Oh man.
Yeah. See, this is what's fun about wearing a hijab. It's fun. We have fun stories also about wearing hijab. I love it.
But I need one of those hoodies because we always have his cousins coming over for like.
And you put
to
on a
hang
hood,
out.
yeah.
And I put on a hoodie and I put
Just
on
do
my
this.
headpiece.
Do what Emily used to do. She puts on the cap, right, and the hoodie on top of the cap. So this is covered. So if the hoodie slips back, your hair's not showing.
Well, no, I put the
She puts
on,
on.
Oh, there you
and
go.
I tie up the hoodie.
She looks like a
And
freaking.
I wrap it
I'm
up.
not joking. She
Just
looks
put a
like a
scarf
potato
on.
sack.
Jesus.
Well, it's because we'll come back from a gathering and I would have it on the whole time, and then when I come home, they come over after. It's like, okay, so I want to remove one to take off the lightness, and then the hoodie doesn't put the pressure on your head after having it on for a long time, so I have to like tie it up. And I tie it up.
When
Honestly-
we used to asshad at night, when we used to chill outside on the porch, me, Ahlam, and Isa, it's dark, and I'm like, nobody can see me, but oh well, I'll just put on the hoodie. Like, I actually pulled that in'am. So we do it. That's what I call it. I pull that in'am. I put a hoodie on, and then I just sit there, and I was like, well, I mean, it's not really a big difference. The only thing difference is my neck is showing.
Honestly, I
You
found
know-
a 2-piece light enough. I just
Yeah,
wear
my
that.
baby, my two pieces are always
You know the funny part?
they cover everything.
That's not my worst
I
part. The
know.
worst part is when Amazon drops off my package and they decide to leave it on the first stair step instead
And you have
of
to go down and
walking
grab
up.
it.
And I'm like, I'm in a t-shirt and pants, and I grab my winter jacket and I zip it up
Oh
all
my
the way.
god, nothing
And I put
is
the
better.
fur on. And by the way, this was like midsummer. And I would walk out to grab it, and the neighbors are looking at me, and I'm like,
No. Nothing is better than the time we had the package, and I said, Sarah, you know, you're dressed. She still had her abaya. She took off her scarf. And said, please, my package is all the way down, and I don't feel like putting it. This girl took a towel and wrapped it and looked at the camera and looked at my husband in the camera and said, thank you a lot. And I grabbed the thing and went inside, and I'm like, my husband's probably was like,
no, you know what happened?
Wait, what's funny was it was a floor towel, and I didn't know.
yeah, it was a nasty floor towel.
You know what happened the other day?
Like,
So
what?
the other day I was sleeping and then my doorbell rang and I assumed it was UPS because UPS
It wasn't a package.
brings
It was,
it.
sorry, it was her Instacart delivery.
Oh, yeah, whatever. It's still a package.
So UPS rings the doorbell and walks away. So you know your package is delivered. And I was like, okay, it's UPS. I went back to sleep. It rung again. I opened up my Ring camera and there was a police officer
I'm
standing.
sorry. What's going on, Mama?
Her morning stretches. I love you.
So there was a police officer at the door, and then Jihad calls me at the same time. He goes, babe, there's a cop at the door. Can you go answer? I was like, sure. And I'm like putting on my pants and the hoodie, and I zipped it up and I went down. And then the cop opened the door, and the hoodie was like this. And I was like, hi,
She looks
officer,
like
can I
Ileana.
help you? And he looks at me, he goes, yes, I was just wondering. He was trying to hold his left hand. He's like, I was just wondering if you noticed a trailer in front of your house last night. And I was like, no, officer, I don't look outside of the windows at night. And he's like, do you think your Ring camera picked it up? And then I go through my Ring camera, and he was like, and then we were like, oh, we saw nothing. And then he goes, have a good day. He's like, what the weirdest face? And I was like,
He probably
You too.
sat in that car and busted out laughing. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
looked hilarious. And I remember it, like, even my husband was like, babe, why'd you answer the door looking like that? Because I had to, like, even walk outside because he was about to leave. And I was like, is everything okay? He's like, I saw everything in the camera. Why'd you look like that? I'm like, I was asleep. I ran down the stairs. I had to put on anything I could right away. Like, I was like, oh
Gotta
no,
do
like,
what you
what
gotta
happened?
do.
It is what it is.
It
Yep.
is what it is.
But yeah, that's
The struggles of the hijabi life every day.
Also, like
It's
you
fun
guys,
though. You got
Speaking of
stories to talk
struggle,
about. See, we're talking about it.
going to Cedar Point with a hijab is
oh
the
my god, do you
biggest
know?
struggle.
Okay, I don't usually wear two pieces under my scarf, but that's the one time I always wear a two piece because if
Yeah.
the top one flies away, I still have my scarf on, and then we'll be in line, and then we go to sit down, and then they'll all look at me, and I'm shoving my scarf down my shirt. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I can't have it fly."
Remember that one
away."
time Dad lost his hat?
That was my hat.
Yeah.
I still am
And
so
Dad's had a
upset.
scarf.
Because there's a lot of photos and videos of me holding my scarf like this,
Yeah, or
and my husband will like, "Woo," and I'm like,
Okay, how about not
Trying to
even
hold
the
on
part
to
where
my
the scarf
scarf.
is gonna come off? The part of the scarf just covers your face, and you miss the whole freaking ride.
I have a
You know
picture
how
of
many
that. I
times
have
where
a
my
picture
scarf is
of-
like this?
Yeah. And this would like that one picture, first 3-point ride ever. It was like up like that. And I was
And then my husband be like,
You
I didn't
don't
get to
buy
see
the
your
picture.
face. I'm like, I didn't get to
don't
see
buy
the
the
ride.
picture. It was on the
Face.
dragster. I'm like, don't buy the picture.
Because you don't even get to hold on. Like, you try to enjoy the ride, but you're holding on for dear life, and your scarf is like this the whole time. You're like, I can't see anything. I can't
I
see
so
anything.
wanted to go to Cedar Point this year. I
And
so wanted to go. I wanted to take Ahlam experience it. And every time we tried to set a date where everybody's free, nobody was free at the same time to go. That's not fun to go just
Did you
us.
get
It's nice
told
to go
that
as
we
a
were
group.
going to Cedar Point?
Yeah, I did. I mentioned
I
about Cedar
didn't
Point.
know we were
I
going to
didn't know
Cedar Point.
either. So who did you mention
no.
it to?
I told you guys. No,
Huh?
I told you guys I want to do a trip to Cedar Point. Yes, I do. Check your messages. I wrote on the group. I'm like, I wanted to do a trip to Cedar Point. Who's down? Not the familia, the sisters.
Oh, girl,
I'm about
God
to do
bless. Search.
God
And
bless
then
the
we
search
sat and
bar.
talked
Yeah.
about it and everything.
Cedar
But then we
Point.
ended up planning to go to an orchard instead because nobody wanted to do Cedar Point.
You know what this is? A blueberry. that
There's
you
no
pushed onto
point.
my
There's
shirt.
no Cedar Point found on the chat.
Okay, I'm gonna find it.
You probably were still talking to your husband.
No, remember Hannah? We were talking about it.
No, I even not spaced it, and it still didn't work. Point.
See,
Put cedar.
Where's our chat?
Cedar.
Put
I-
Hollow
how do
Weekend.
you-
I want to.
You guys, nothing.
I
Nothing's
want
coming
to. Nope.
up. Okay, you guys.
Wait, you were at Cedar Point yesterday? No, this is really old.
Who was at Cedar Point yesterday?
This was September
Sarah-
6th of 2021.
Okay, so it never happened. Sarah probably.
I was at Cedar Point. On
This is
September
what
6th,
happened.
I talked about it. It must
Hold
have been
on.
I talked about it in person.
When you're moving the mic too much. This is what happened.
I believe I talked about it
Possibly
in person.
Sarah was like to Ahlam, I think we should go to Cedar Point. And then Sarah was like, I'm gonna tell the girls. And Sarah thought about the whole scenario and didn't end up telling the girls because that never happened.
Because he was waiting to go to Cedar Point this
Yes,
year.
we were-
So
we
if
wanted to
that
go to
was the
Cedar Point.
case, he would be like, "Yo,
We wanted to take Aisha to Cedar
Yeah,
Point.
we wanted to go, and it was during Halloween weekend. I remember I talked about it. I promise
No,
I
because
talked about
he's
it.
been wanting to go to Cedar Point, and I told him I don't feel like
we
going
still
to
got
Cedar
time.
Point.
Let's go.
Wrong group.
It's closed. It closes in November.
What do you mean wrong group?
You probably asked a different group. It wasn't enough.
It's not closed. It's closed in
It's
November.
closed. It closes after Halloween weekend because it
Dang
gets
it.
really cold.
But I am going in June next year.
Next year
Or
we
May.
can go because next year we
Because
can
I'm
take.
gonna take Aisha.
Yeah.
I usually can't write anything.
Yes, you can.
Oh yeah.
She's
she
gonna be
can.
two.
There's
She
a,
can.
there's a bunch of the Snoopy World.
If Rayhana can't write anything, because she's
Oh,
so tiny.
Rayhana can ride a lot actually. Rosanna was her.
All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. And if you guys are like us who came from overseas and had your own struggles, comment it on the
Yeah, we
comments
would like to hear
below.
you guys' stories and how it felt coming from.
Or just your journey of
trying to fit
hijab.
in.
Or the journey of hijab, or
hijab,
anything.
yep.
Or what do you think about society and how it pressures us Muslim women in the world? I don't know why I'm like stuttering, but yeah.
Anyway, so always comment and like.
and like
and
we always say,
Subscribe. Peace.